Hey guys, this is Ravenclaw What If. Welcome back to another What If story. Alright, before we begin, I'm gonna run through some information before we continue on to the story. Now, I totally forgot what the ship was going to be, what I had planned for this series, so check my community tab. The the name that has most repeated down below in the comments will get picked for the series. If it's a tie, then I'll make a custom character. Oh yeah, and I gotta forget this. I almost forgot this. If this video gets, well, let's say 100 likes by next 4 days, then I'll immediately start working on the next part of the series. If not, I'll move on to either what if Deku was Poison Ivy, or the next part of what if Android 18 was transported to MHA. MHA, yeah, baby. Basically. Alright, let's get on to this what if. A week has passed under Izuku's brutal training. Toshinori Yagi is breathing heavy, barely able to stand, looking up at the small white fox. What's the matter, little human? Can't handle a little gravity? With a condescending smirk. You're the devil. This is not training, this is torture. Nona has gone soft on you, but I will not. If I have to break every bone in your body to make you adequate successor, and I will, no matter no matter what, no matter how many times I have to drag you back and heal you up, to do it all over again, break you over and over again, and get you in working order. Back to work. Would you rather see how electricity feels running through your entire body, little human? As he has a disturbing smile on his face, Shinori eyes widen as he begins running immediately afterwards. Doesn't want to get shocked. Shinori is unsure if the little fox is able to do what he threatened with, but he doesn't want to test that theory. That's good. The little human at least knows how to follow orders. What are you up to, Izuku? Nothing much. Hi, Nana. I'm training your status keys for a successor. I might not be able to change your mind on your choice, but I'll be damned to let him drag your name down. Why is he moving so sluggish? What did you do? God damn it. Give me a second, guys. Nothing much. I just increased the gravity around him. No big deal. No big deal. Wait. You can't control gravity? Yes, that's only one of my abilities I have access of. Don't worry, the gravity won't kill him. When his body gets used to it, I'll increase it slightly. He needs to increase his body mass. He's far too slim for your quirk. And you know that as well, Nana. Just don't kill him. Don't worry, I won't kill him. Even though idea is tempting. I'm joking, Nana. Are you now? For such a cute little fox, you have a demented sense of humor. Can't help it, I'm a bit of a sadist. One wave of his tail, he deactivated the gravity around Toshinori. I'm going to head home. I'll let you handle your successor. After all, he's your student. Before I leave, I got to admit, the little human has spunk. No matter how hard I make his training, he never once gave up. Maybe I was wrong. He might have he might have some redeeming qualities. Izuku couldn't see the smile on Nana's face. Pra- Praising coming from the fox. She knows he doesn't give out compliments very easily. The fact that he complimented her student, she couldn't help but smile. As Nana walked over to her successor to continue his training, several years has passed with the training with Nana and Izuku's brutal version of training. Toshinori was shaping up to be an excellent hero. With his quirk, trying to help anyone that he can. Not his quirk like his actual quirk, but this quirk of his personality. That's basically what I'm trying to admit. Izuku was surprised when Nana finally passed on her quirk off to Toshinori. He somehow was able to immediately know how to use the quirk like it was second nature. During his time under Izuku's tutelage, they formed a friendship between each other. Somehow the little human earned Izuku's respect. One day a tragedy fell upon them. The little fox will remember the events of this day throughout his whole life. What's about to happen will remain in his heart for the rest of his life. A tragedy that will shake him to his core. The fated fight between Nana Shimura and All For One is about to begin. Izuku woke up from his nap, feeling a ominous feeling, like something's bad is going on. Sorry guys, give me a second. He jumped out the window to check up on Nana, following her scent into the city. He came upon a scene where sorry, this is I forgot to grammar check this whole thing, so we're gonna fix it as we go along. So give me a second, guys. As he come upon the scene where the city is in ruins, he hears and sees people screaming, running to get to safety. As he hears loud explosions in the distance, the closer he gets to the scent, the more intense the sound of battle becomes. Nana and All For One collide, creating huge shock waves, destroying the heavy damaging buildings, making them collapse in each other. From the weakened foundation, from the early clashes of their battle, making all the nearby buildings in the area very unstable, as All For One throws Nana through several buildings, making them collapse onto her. Sorry. Is this all you got, hero? You seem like a whole lot weaker since the last time we fought. I get it now. You already passed on, did you, woman? No matter. I'll kill you. Then I'll kill your successor. No shake on my back. The embers of All For One. Sorry, not All For One. The embers of One For All will abandon you. But the question, how long can you keep going? Nana. Shut up and fight. As she bursts out of the rubble, wiping the blood off her mouth. I will end you. I will end you here, All For One. I won't allow you to hurt my successor. I should have took you down long before I pass on the torch to the next generation. Allow me to fix my mistake. That's the spirit. Show me what you got. Shut up and fight. As the hero and the villain continue their epic battle, Meanwhile, Izuku met up with Toshinori and Gran Torino on his way to Nana's location. Master Izuku, jump on my back. It'll be a lot faster this way. Izuku jumped on All Might's back, while on his shoulder with no delay. As as All Might jump off, and Gran Torino not far behind, Izuku's eyes widen, seeing Nana in the sky, seeing the villain has one hand wrapped around her neck, and his other hand through her chest. When All for One saw All Might, he smirked and dropped Nana, barely alive. Izuku jumped up off of All Might's shoulder as he rushed towards. Give me a second, guys. I skipped ahead. Let's try this again. As he dropped Nana, as Izuku jumped off All Might's shoulder and rushed towards All for One, with pure anger in his eyes, he shifted into his human form, catching Nana before she hit the ground. Did you note he still looks like he's 6 or 7 years old? So, that give you, brief information. Izuku was too focused on Nana to pay attention to the fight that All Might is engaged in. Nana. As he stares at Nana with concern in his eyes. There you are, my little fox. As she coughs up a huge amount of blood. I'm glad I could see you one last time. It seems like this is where we are going to part ways. I'm glad you stepped into my life. You've been a very good companion. The little time we had with each other. Okay, don't talk. I can heal you. As he tries to heal her, deep down he knows it's far too late for that. Nana could see the tears in his eyes and how desperate he is trying to save her. As she lifts her arm up to touch Izuku's cheek. It's fine, little fox. You know it's far too late for that. Promise me one thing. Anything. Don't give up on humanity. Look after the knucklehead. He'll need you. Please don't leave me. I still need you. I know, but this is where we part ways, my little fox. I've always loved you like a son, even though you could be quite a pain sometimes. But I did truly cherish our time together. As her hand falls limp, as it gently drops to the ground, removing her hand from his cheek, Izuku gently closed her eyes. Izuku stand up while his bangs is covering his eyes, blocking anyone's view from seeing basically his eyes. I'm sorry, try it again. I'm going to kill you. As the bursts of energy come shooting out, as All for One and All Might stop fighting immediately, stopping from the pure malice Izuku's emitting from his body in a huge killing attempt throughout the whole area, as he slowly walks towards the two of them with pure hatred in his eyes. I'm going to make you suffer for taking my Nana away from me. Death is far too good for you, filthy human. You will feel my wrath. Step aside, All Might. This vile piece of human trash is mine. As All Might sees him slowly walking over to All for One, All for One starts to laugh A mere child challenging me? It would be sad if it wasn't so hilarious. What could you possibly do, child? But I gotta admit, I like that fire in your eye. That pure hatred you have for me. It gets my blood pumping. It's a shame that that bitch didn't give you her cork. You would have been a more worthy adversary when you grew up, if I'd let you. Shut up and die. Izuku flash stepped and reappeared in front of One for All, and hit him as he reappeared behind him, hitting his kidneys with a mighty blow, making All for One cough up blood, then followed up with a kick to the side of the head as he was flying into several buildings. I changed my mind, All Might. We'll take him together. I'll keep him busy while you strike the finishing blow. Understood, teacher. What the hell? How can a mere child have so much power? You made a grave error, pissing off a Kitsune. But don't worry. I'll enlighten you. Izuku waves his hand to the right as All for One gets shoot through several more buildings. When All for One finally recovered from being tossed like a rag doll, he shut out several wind attacks, only to be batted away like it was nothing. Izuku ducked as All Might used his full power, his basically full power smash to gravely injure All for One. Izuku unleashed Foxfire. When All Might retreat to a safe distance, disfiguring All for One. Before the Kitsune could finish off his prey, a black portal opened up underneath All for One. Izuku rushed forward quickly to finish off as a second portal appeared right in front of him. As he finds himself on top of a building, if anyone could see Izuku's face, they could tell immediately he's one pissed off fox. When he finally got back to the location where his prey was at, he was nowhere to be seen. After reuniting with the two heroes, they retrieved the body and began the funeral arrangements in the next upcoming month. Izuku vowed that he would find this villain called All for One and torture him. And once he's satisfied, he's suffered enough, he would end his life, no matter what, no matter how many years it will take. He won't rest until All for One is dead. Despite how close Nana and Izuku were, she never revealed that she had a son, so Izuku had no idea All for One would take her grandson to make him into a villain. Izuku's always suspected that she kept a few things away from him, but he respected her too much to pry into her private matters. But in the future, he would regret that decision. A few months has passed since Nana's death. During that time, he stayed close to All Might. It was Nana's last request to look after the knucklehead. He'll be damned to let her down. He would look after the little human. As the years gone by, All Might started to get a name for himself, and he finally became the #1 hero in Japan. Despite the sadness he feels in his heart for losing Nana, he couldn't help but be proud of the knucklehead. He's done a good job filling her shoes. Even with All Might getting his injury from One for All, he admired his drive to continue his job as a #1 hero. So he decided to heal him to his prime when he was unable to heal himself through the medical field. All Might was extremely grateful towards his teacher, even though All Might scared of him sometimes. more scared of him than Gran Torino when it comes to training. Over the years, give me something. Over the years, Izuku suggested Izuku to go out in the world, specifically go to America to gain more experience. All Might was curious if he was going to tag along, but he informed the little human that he needs to grow on his own. It's time for him to leave the nest. All Might was a little saddened by that. Over the years, they grown quite close, but he ultimately understood his teacher. He understood his motives. He needs to experience life on his own without being guided by the Kitsune teacher. Even though Izuku is still in his child form of a 6-year-old, despite how young he looks, All Might knows he's far more older than he looks. While All Might is in America, Izuku spent his time secluded in a forest by himself. Principal Nezu would often come to visit him. Nezu noticed he started to look a little bit older by a couple years. When he came to visit, Nezu did question about his appearance. Izuku informed him that Kitsune has full control over how old he looks. He just prefers to be in a 7-year-old body. People underestimate him once they first come across him, if he ever gets into a scruffle with a human. But Nezu was worried about him from being alone for so long. He suggested to enter the general population again. As an adopted son to a scientist that couldn't have a child of her own because of her genetics, he only wanted to help Izuku to heal and to help his friend at the same time. It's to kill two birds with one stone. She seems barely able to keep herself motivated after hearing she can no longer produce a child. She was extremely saddened over that news. Eventually, it affected her marriage, as her husband left her, and that didn't affect her very well. That deepened her depression. After much debating with Principal Nezu, he agreed to at least meet the human woman. Nezu was sitting across from Izuku on the couch in a small cabin where Izuku made his home, with a smug smile on his face. You don't need to be so smug about it, Nezu. I'll meet the human woman already, so you can stop bugging me about it. That's good to hear. I know you would see it, and you would see it my way eventually. I highly doubt you would not leave me alone until I agreed to meet the woman. You may not see it, my friend. This is for your own good, and hers. You might have to slowly change how you look when it comes to your looks while you're living with her, if you agree to be her son. After all, she doesn't know you're a kitsune, or know you exist exactly. I haven't told her yet. I'll leave that up to you to reveal yourself. It's not my place. I can no longer watch her waste away. My hand's been forced in this matter. I don't know why you're so hell-bent on this. I may not know about your species very much, but it can't be good for you to be alone for so many years by yourself, ever since Nana's death, and All Might's trip to you to the States. You cut yourself off from everyone. As your friend, I do worry. I do admit I took her death very hard, and I may not have went about it the best way. I've never dealt with loss before. My kin live a very long life, and I've never been been close to anyone before, so this was a new experience for me. Speaking of the woman, how old does she think I am? Like I said, I haven't told her yet. But you're gonna meet her. Give me a second here. When do you want me to meet her? Tomorrow. Fine. I'll meet her in my fox form to gauge her. Good. Until we meet tomorrow. She needs you as much as you need her. So don't be too hard on her. If you reveal yourself to her. She's a kind person. There's not many humans like her. If there were, the world would be a whole lot better condition. Until then, my friend. Goodbye. Goodbye, Nezu. Safe trip back to UA. Izuku watches Nezu leave his little cabin as he shuts the door right behind him. While in his fox form, he went with Nezu to meet with his human woman the next day. Izuku observed the green-haired woman. She seemed not to be eating very well. Bags are under her eyes, so he assumes that she hasn't been sleeping very well. Either not sleeping at all or crying herself to sleep. He could tell she has a sad expression on her face. Nezu knew Izuku would only meet her in his fox form. After the meeting with the woman, Principal Nezu and Izuku sitting in a limousine. God damn it. Give me a second, guys. So, what's your verdict, my friend? I'll do it, but I only do it my way. What do you mean? Even if she accepts to adopt me, I don't think it would be good enough for her. But I do have an idea. What are you getting at, you sly fox? I'll visit her tonight at her home and heal her wound. Then I'll go through the rebirth process. Oh, okay. Wait, can you actually do that? Yes, it's not the first time my species has done such a thing before. Or, basically, let's try it again. Yes, it's not the first time my species has done such a thing. The process is very delicate. Passing my spiritual essence into the woman's wound, it's not an easy task. My appearance won't change. I could easily change my eye color to match hers so she doesn't get too suspicious. I can feel the woman's aura. She has lost hope. I'll do tonight. Give me the woman's address. Changing my eye color would be a simple task. Very well. I might not like how you're doing this, but ultimately this will help her. I might have to do a few things so it doesn't look suspicious that she got pregnant out of nowhere. Take care of her. She's a very close friend of mine. God, my screen's dirty, so it's really hard to switch over, pause it, and switch over to the picture. So let's continue. You don't need to worry on that. I can tell the woman has a pure heart. This is the only reason I'm doing this. There's only there's only one thing a Kitsune treasure when it comes to humans, is the pure-hearted ones. Inanna was one of those humans. I'll see you later, Principal Nezu. Inform my knucklehead student while I'm gone. I'll make sure he knows. Until we meet again. Who knows, Principal Nezu? You might see me in your little school of yours as a student one of these days. Well, if that happens, I'd look forward to that day. Not gonna lie to you, you would make an excellent hero. I suppose I would. Until next time. Good. Sorry. Un- I suppose I would. Until next time we meet, Nezu. Goodbye. Izuku spent the rest of the day just exploring familiar areas in the city until nightfall hit. When nightfall finally hit, Izuku's standing outside of the green-haired woman's house. It's a pretty big house. Izuku noticed whatever this woman does, she gets paid very well. It's more like a manor than a house. As Izuku snuck in and cloaked himself so no one would notice him, as he got to the woman's room, as he watches her cry herself to sleep because she wants a child. That was one of her dreams she always had when she was younger, to have a child of her own. When she finally fell asleep from crying herself to sleep, Izuku stared at the sleeping woman. So you're going to be my mother from now on. I never thought I would ever do something like this. It's way out of character. Life is strange sometimes. As the fox appearance starts to sparkle, red energy starts to form off his figure until the small white fox changes into a red orb. As the orb slowly sinks into Inko's wound, well, stomach basically. The next few days, Inko started to get morning sickness. She eventually decided to go to the doctors to get checked out. The doctor told her she was pregnant. She was ecstatic, and the doctor told her her wound was somehow healed. Even the doctor was baffled, but she was too happy to care about that. She didn't know how her wound got healed. She was just too grateful that it did. She could finally have a she can finally have a child and a family. She supposed the last time she was intimate with her ex-husband, well, soon-to-be ex-husband, she was most likely was the cause of it for being pregnant. He didn't leave that long ago. She went to her best friends to tell her the good news that she finally got pregnant. Mitsuki Bakugo was thrilled. She knew she was trying hard to have a child. Inko wanted to tell her ex-husband, but Mitsuki talked her down. Mitsuki never liked the man. The fact that he left her because she couldn't have a child, it sickened her to her core. As the pregnancy progressed normally, her little boy was finally born. Inko named her son Izuku. Izuku was surprised by that. She picked the same name he was using prior to his rebirth. To quell suspicion, he changed his eye color to green to match his new mother's, so no one asked questions. The doctor informed her that he must have some sort of mutation quirk because of the fox ears and tail. Several tails, by the way. Let's say he has about, because the rebirth, his powers got resetted, so he only has two tails currently. As the as Izuku had to match his aging process with a human, what access of what powers he has, it was an easy task for him to perform. When he turned 6, there was no reason to get his quirk checked out because he was born with it. At least that's what Inko thought. She walked into Izuku's room. She caught him like normal, watching clips of All Might, fighting villains, she found it odd that he would criticize All Might, always say he could do better, like he knew the man. Outside of his odd behavior, she found him to be quite intelligent, so she decided to homeschool him because she didn't trust the local school system to teach him the right way or the right things. And she homeschooled him until he turned the age to enter high school. She enrolled him in a highly respected academy that's been known to teach several hero families, giving the school a good reputation. As that's where we're going to stop our part off there. Hope you guys have a good night and day, judging by time zones, and I'll catch you in the next video.